Um, Speaking of fantastical things, the big trailer at the Super Bowl that everyone was talking about was Marvel's Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness trailer. There were a couple things in that damn near broke the internet, but yeah. First, just a quick, just general trailer reaction. You know, when you saw Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, you saw that trailer. Did it increase your hype for Doctor Strange 2? Did you stay the same? Did it decrease your hype? What'd you think of the trailer?
Well, there's my gothic horror from Sam Raimi. Yeah, no, honestly, yeah, this trailer got me hyped for that movie. I've been
Yeah,
kind of like I've been interested just because I know it's doing the multiverse, and now that we've really gotten tastes from Loki and
yeah,
Spider-Man: No Way Home, I knew that this was really going to blow the doors off. But I was lukewarm on the first Doctor Strange film, and I like his appearances in the other movies, but he's not like some character that I really like, am super into. But yeah, this trailer got me pumped. It looks absolutely wild. The visuals are just unbelievable, and I really hope I mean, the shots definitely look gothic horror, but I really hope in the actual like plot and how the story moves along, I really hope they lean into that. That's like, but that's going to be the thing that really makes that movie for me if they really go there, and I'm hoping with Sam Raimi on board they will. But yeah, this totally got my hype level way up for
yeah.
the movie.
I mean, they're letting Raimi be Raimi, right? He like it.
Yeah.
It looks like a Sam Raimi movie, and you know what? I used to complain on this show and on the Revengers show that like, when it comes to the Marvel movies, the directors are sort of inauspicious. They don't
Yeah.
leave a strong impression.
Well,
To this
some, right?
day, who directed Captain Marvel? Go.
Yeah, it's the two people. I know
Yeah,
it was
you
two
have no
people.
idea, right? You know, if I were to just rattle off some of these, you couldn't really name the directors are just nondescript and nothing special. So in for Doctor Strange, the fact that it says from director Sam Raimi, and they're like leaning into the fact that here's this auteur director that film fans have had a relationship now with since the mid '80s. I just thought it was kind of cool. Like, ooh, okay, this is almost like a signaling of like a change in the way they do things. Here is sort of an auteur-driven Marvel movie
Isn't it funny
in a
how
way.
they do that only with certain like we could just really quick sidebar, but
Yeah.
okay, the Russo brothers, like theirs movies
Yes.
very much stand out. Obviously James Gunn, it's like James Gunn's Guardian
Yep.
of the Galaxy's like it's his whole thing where he gets to do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
We have Sam Raimi now, but then you look at like the movies where like Thor had like a different director every time, and
Yeah.
like except for Thor Ragnarok, most of the other ones weren't, and
Yeah.
we had Sir Kenneth Branagh on the first one, and it was like,
And nobody
um,
cared.
and nobody cared. And then you have like these directors that we don't really know who they are that were kind of like probably just bought in to be like studio pawns, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So Captain Marvel, which but look at the movies that kind of like were like Captain
Yeah.
Marvel, the first Doctor Strange, the first two Thors, and those are the ones that were kind of made by committee. You could almost argue Ant-Man too, but I think Peyton Reed is a much better director than some of these other nobodies.
Yeah.
I don't mean to be like rude, but I think Peyton Reed, especially listen, man, he directed the season finale of season 2 of The Mandalorian. That was Peyton Reed. That's our Ant-Man director for Ant-Man 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So we got to give him a little bit of props. The guy knows what he's
Hey.
doing.
Oh.
Hey.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting though, but like the movies that stand out, and it's funny how like they want to do that for some franchises, but it seems like other ones they're like, no, let's just get someone that we could push around.
Yeah.
So we can make this film by like committee or something. I
Yeah.
don't know. It's just that's just an interesting thing for me. I don't know. I
Yeah.
thought about it today like earlier.
Yeah.
So
Well, in terms of the trailer, it definitely increased my hype level from like 0 to like 6. Yeah, I'm still not like
0 to 6.
well out of 10.
2.5
Okay?
seconds.
Yeah. Like I'm still not like, oh my God, I have
Yeah.
to see this Doctor Strange movie. But I'm definitely interested now. And of course, the big thing that broke the internet was that at the end, it appears that we get a visitor from another Marvel universe. We hear what seems to be Patrick Stewart's voice saying something like, do you want to tell him or should we tell him? And it
Yeah.
looks like we're looking over the shoulder of Professor Charles Xavier from the Fox X-Men universe. Now suddenly being brought into the proper MCU universe. And this is after what happened in Spider-Man No Way Home, where now we've embraced all the Sony Spider-Man movies and and now we act as if those are officially accepted into the canon, so to speak, of the MCU. Now we're folding in the Fox X-Men universe, and
Yeah.
that's going to be sort of canon too. I mean, we're going to see how they play it out, but I don't think they can backpedal on this. Like, it's not like in WandaVision when they brought in the other Quicksilver and then named
Right.
him like Richard Boner or something, and it wasn't really the other Quicksilver. Like, if they're going to have Patrick Stewart in the Multiverse of Madness as Xavier, they're acknowledging that those other X-Men movies existed, and that
Right.
that's one of the universes in this world that Marvel is setting up now.
Yeah.
And I just think it's interesting because that's two movies in a row, and it's starting to show that, like, is that one of the underlying things about this phase? Because remember, after Avengers Endgame, we kind of went off into the great unknown with Marvel after a 22 movie lead up, a 22 movie Infinity Saga.
Right.
Now you had Endgame, which Kevin Feige still refers to in recent interviews as the last Avengers movie. It's the end of that. They're not going to continue on that story. That's the end of that. The big question is, where do we go from here? We heard about Shang-Chi and the Eternals and some of these other movies coming out, but now it's starting to like come into focus that this multiverse thing and bringing in all the Marvel that's happened up to now into everything, even bringing in the Marvel Netflix stuff with Daredevil and Kingpin showing up. Like this, it seems like this phase is about shoring up and expanding the Marvel canon to include everything that's come before.
Yeah.
And I like, who saw that coming? Like
Right.
it's just such. I don't know where they're going with this, and what other Marvel X-Men characters are they going to bring from that continuity, right? Because everyone thought, okay, they're going to introduce a whole new breed of X-Men, and they're going to act like those other X-Men movies never happened. But if you're bringing in Xavier, is that it? Is it a one and done?
Right.
Are they going to bring back James McAvoy to play him younger? Like, I don't know where they go from here, but
yeah. Well, the other big piece, right, is that not only Xavier, we're pretty sure it's him, but they're also thinking that this is Doctor Strange meeting the Illuminati, which is a bunch of really strong characters or powerful characters from multiple Marvel universes.
Yeah.
Or I don't even know if they're the same or multiple, probably multiple, that are there to like basically make sure that the Marvel multiverse is not like a shit show.
Yeah.
So it looks like, they could do that. And then, that could just be, again, the multiverse now. It could just be one Xavier from one universe and we can recast everything. But it certainly seems that the way the next new team of Avengers is going to be built is through the multiverse, traveling through the multiverse to finally combat Kang the Conqueror. And I think, after we're going to get a lot of more insight, I think, with Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. And, whoop, I'm going to sneeze. Okay, I stopped it. The sneeze is gone.
You did it.
So,
You're a hero.
Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. And then I also believe that we will learn a lot more in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, where we're actually supposed to see Kang the Conqueror, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's rumored to be the villain, or at least be a big part of that film. So listen, Wolverine was an Avenger at one point. A couple of X-Men were on the Avengers team before.
No, okay, so
we could be
you
working
bring
up
that
to
up,
that.
I have to ask though, because like, let's say Xavier's back after the send off that Logan was, right, for both Xavier and for Logan and for Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. Like, does this cheapen that exit if he's back, or is it just like, screw it? Just bringing him into the MCU is worth it.
I think, I would do more. It would cheapen it for me if they brought Hugh Jackman back.
That was my next
Patrick
question.
Stewart, for some reason, doesn't bother me. Also, one of the things, and again, we can't tell because it's such a quick shot, you can't see anything. It does look like Patrick Stewart is wearing an outfit similar to what he wore in Days of Future Past. So I wonder if they could play a thing where it's that version of him where they didn't get to go back and save it, and that universe went on, and at that point he's still alive, but most of the other mutants are dead, and then they have to go to another universe to really get the mutants in or something, and then they can recast everybody. And I don't know. I wonder if they'll do some weird trickery with that. I don't know. They could do so much stuff. It's really nuts. And
it's nuts.
Hey,
it's
man.
nuts.